Welcome to TNT, and indeed we shall have a most unusual TNT this week. As Lord Alfred Hayes stated, a number of unsung heroes, some of which are in a rookie status, others are certainly veterans, but it is those individuals which we will key on this week and hear their story, as opposed to the normal aspect here on TNT of the superstars that join us. We'll have some unsung heroes, and Lord Alfred Hayes, climbing the ladder of success is not easy in the World Wrestling Federation.
I think it's the hardest thing that any professional sportsman can accomplish in a world of sport such as wrestling, of course, I'm referring to. When I first started wrestling, I had 10 matches signed contract-wise. If I hadn't have had that contract, I would never have completed them. I would have dropped out after the first one.
Well, most, of course, do after their first experience. What we would like to do in a moment is to take you to some videotape involving David Sammartino and an unsung hero, if you would. So let's take you now to the videotape footage.
Wade as we begin the matchup. David going right behind Wade quickly, grabs it. Oh, look at, oh my goodness, forget about it. Whoa, my goodness. Talk about a suplex. Wade will be feeling that one for the next 567 years.
That's a devastating blow to get caught with right in when the match first starts, and that's going to take a lot out of Wade. I'm not sure that he could recuperate fully from a blow like that. Although he looks like he, well,
oh, I don't know. Oh, my, look at this. Sammartino with Wade now. Has him up, has him way up. What's he going to do with him? Dumps him down on the canvas. Sammartino with Bob Wade. I can't believe he's on his feet. Off the rope, up in the air, power slam. Hooks the leg, 1, 2, and that's all she wrote.
Now that's an idea of what happens with a young man trying to make his way into the World Wrestling Federation as he squares off against one of the professionals, such as David Sammartino. We saw the suplex that I would suspect almost broke the man's neck. And from there, sort of a body slam and a press that did more damage to the young man's head.
I think there were 3 definite parts to that. Firstly, this young man stepped into the ring with a Sammartino, and he was in awe. All wrestling knowledge seemed to leave his mind. He was in awe of a Sammartino. Secondly, he suffered from that devastating suplex, and I think he was virtually out of it from there on in, because by the time he was thrown into that turnbuckle and he came out, Sammartino pressed him, and then threw him, he came over. He didn't have the ability to tuck his chin into his chest, which all wrestlers do, and protect his head. He landed right on the back of his head. After that, it was finished for him. But I must compliment his courage.
Yes, indeed. Very courageous individual, Bobby Wade, as well as many of the unsung heroes whom we will have with us this week. Most courageous. Let's go back, take a little closer look, if we may, at what we saw earlier on with this Bobby Wade. And look at this, Alfred.
Oh, just look at that. Jackknifed him, you see, right on the back of his head there.
That is unbelievable that a human being could survive that kind of punishment.
Isn't that incredible?
And here, all the way up. Now, what's a young man like Wade thinking right about now?
Gosh, well, his mind is a blank there. But I can only imagine what he's thinking this week after this happened. I can imagine he's saying, am I going to continue my career wrestling? Now, just watch this. The way he throws him, and he does not get his chin tucked in right here. Here's his mistake. Look. Look. Boom! Right on his head. That is just incredible.
Very much incredible, although we're going to have some incredible athletes with us, as a matter of fact. Some of the unsung heroes in the World Wrestling Federation. I know Johnny Rodz, one of the longtime veterans, is scheduled to be joining us, along with Rusty Brooks, Pete Doherty from Dorchester, Massachusetts, and a lot more. Some of the youngsters as well making their way in the World Wrestling Federation. Should be a most interesting TNT. We'll be back with our very first series of guests after this commercial message. Stay with us. Back with more TNT, and we're going to have with us, as a matter of fact, in a few moments, the first series of Unsung Heroes. If you would, please welcome Steve Lombardi, Mario Mancini, and Mr. Paul Roma. Earlier on, gentlemen, we saw a gentleman by the name of Bobby Wade wrestling David Sammartino. Mr. Wade, of course, has not had a great deal of experience. I would suggest perhaps about as much as you three have individually. And you can somewhat, I think, put yourself in Mr. Wade's shoes, can you not? What about it, Mario?
Yes, I started wrestling at a very young age. I started a month after I graduated from high school. I'm 18 now, I'll turn 19 in 2 months, and it's a very tough road with the much more experienced wrestlers than I'm facing now.
Well, earlier, of course, when we saw Bobby Wade, he was dumped on his head in terms of a suplex. After that, body slam. And, of course, Mr. Wade not having enough experience, or perhaps he was out, really, and didn't have all his wits about him when after the suplex. Would you care to comment on that, Paul?
Well, basically, that's, you know, if you can't shake it off, you lose it. And it's very hard to come back after being suplexed. You lose your sight, your balance, and an experienced wrestler will take advantage of that and pin you.
We talked about one other thing, too, as well, Steve, and that is the intestinal fortitude that it took for Mr. Wade, as well as we have seen the three of you fellows as well, continue a match after being overpowered or whatever. It takes a lot of guts out there, does it not?
Well, it's not easy. If it was easy, anyone could do it. You just got to keep coming back. If you love the sport, if you love it with all your heart, you just got to keep coming back.
All right, what we'd like to do is to, for the benefit of some of the fans out there who are not familiar with your individual wrestling skills, we'd like to take you to some matchups involving all three of these individuals. Let's go to the tape.
Steamboat locking up again with Lombardi. Test of strength here. Steamboat steps over and again, and a drop kick. And I think Lombardi is wondering, what does he have to do to get back in this match?
I'm afraid there isn't too much he can do. He's in there against truly a great one.
Now that's what you don't. You want to mess around with Steamboat, because if you make him angry, he'll get nasty on you real quick and go to the karate. Knows it well.
He prefers to wrestle, but if you want to get rough in there, he'll meet you your way, and he'll do a good job at that.
Lombardi moments ago raking the eyes as Steamboat heads off. Ooh, why did he ever lay the elbow in? Nicely done by Lombardi. Lombardi ramming face first Ricky Steamboat into the buckle. That'll take its toll. Brings him over. Now all the way over to the top rope. Steamboat comes back over the top rope. Drop kick into the chest. And again. Over the hip, Ricky Steamboat maintaining control. Just when Lombardi thought he had things right where he wanted them. Lombardi off the rope, Steamboat. Steamboat out on the apron now. Going up to the top rope, spins around. Steamboat, the fine body press. And a 3 count.
He really has. So far we haven't seen it because so far it's also a no contest against Mancini, but this man can move. He is known not only for size, but for how big he is, how well he can move.
Listen to Jimmy Hart. Ooh, right. From the looks of things, I think it's pretty safe to say that Mr. Bundy does not like taking any prisoners.
No, I don't think so. Look at that.
Ah, goodness, this man is awesome.
Well, you know, when he comes down with an elbow like that, he puts that weight behind it. You know, that's so devastating because, again, 458 pounds. That is awesome.
Mancini, no relation to Boom Boom. It's the only booming in there right now is from, oh, look at that! Bundy, as in King Kong, making mincemeat out of Mancini in the 3 count, and it's over. Paul Roma. Ooh, wow, sliding him right off the knee.
Terrible slam right on top of his knee, and Roma's feeling that one. Right now, Roma's hurting. This Roma's a fine-looking athlete, too, a very good athlete. Except that right now he's against a very strong and vicious Beefcake, and he's not doing too well.
I'm not too sure anyone would do real well against the likes of Brutus Beefcake. Beefcake with an uppercut, and Roma down to the canvas again.
You know, Vince, I saw Beefcake, as you have, of course, not numerous times before he ever teamed up with Valiant. He wasn't nearly as vicious and aggressive as he is now, ever since Valiant started managing him.
Excellent point. Johnny Valiant has really turned Beefcake into a monster. Blocked by Roma. Roma takes over Beefcake. However, Beefcake just like that with a rake in the face and right back in control. Johnny Valiant looking on attentively. Roma against the rope. Beefcake sets him up. Oh, no, leapfrog by Roma and off. Wow, Roma ran into that knee. Big laugh of Brutus Beefcake. Roma has nothing to be ashamed of. He gave Beefcake a real run for his money, I thought.
Indeed you did. Paul gave him a real heck of a run for his money there, but then in the end, as he caught you coming off the ropes with your momentum and drove the knee right up into the chin, did he knock you out?
Yeah, just about. He knocked me out for, well, a little while, and when I came to, the match was over.
All right, but here you have a gentleman like yourself. You haven't had a great deal of experience, but Brutus Beefcake certainly has. I mean, to be able to stay in there as long as you did with Brutus Beefcake, does that give you confidence, or does the fact that you lost the match, does it destroy you in terms of your confidence?
Well, no, it doesn't destroy me. Wrestling somebody with his ability and staying in that long, as you said, builds my confidence, because I'm a young wrestler. I'm coming up, and well, if the fans stay behind me and stay with me, it's not so bad.
All right, so you'll get your share in the future.
Right.
Mario, it seemed to me that in your match with King Kong Bundy, did you really realize what you were getting into when you signed for the match with a monster like Bundy? I mean, here's a guy, I mean, it's incredible.
Well, I realized that he was more than 3 times the size of me. Obviously, to be honest with you, Vince, I never ever felt a feeling like I felt getting hit like a brick wall. But I found that I practically got knocked out. But I find that whoever I'm going against or whoever I'm going to wrestle, no matter how much punishment, I'd have nose broken, you know, my nose getting broken and skin torn off the side of my face from the getting scraped on the mat. But I have an attitude, and my attitude is I'm young, and no matter how much punishment I'm going to take, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to be there. I'll always be there.
Seemed to me, Mr. Lombardi, that in your match with Ricky Steamboat, that unlike some of the matches that we saw with Mr. Mancini and Mr. Roma, that you became a little overconfident. Did you not? That you had the upper hand and became a little overconfident?
You could say that in a way, but I'm getting the impression now at the stage I'm in that nice guys finish last. You got to get out there and do what you can, whatever it takes to win. You got to get out there and do it.
Seems to be a completely different attitude than what we have here with Paul and Mario. A little more of an arrogant attitude, really.
That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. I feel at this point in my career, I need some guidance. Perhaps Bobby the Brain Heenan, who produces nothing but winners. And that's what I want to be, is a winner. So that's the attitude I have to take.
Well, there are a number of ways, of course, to be a winner. And Lord Alfred Hayes, what do you think the chances of these 3 gentlemen making their way to the top ranks of the World Wrestling Federation are?
Well, I would say that all 3 of them have that personal desire to get to the very top of the ladder, which is an excellent thing. But I would like to, we're not going to have the time, but I'd like to look more closely at what gives them that drive. Is it for money? Is it for glory? Is it for something they want to personally achieve? What are these things that drive them there? We're not going to have the time, but there is one thing all 3 of them have in common, and that is the thing we discussed before, courage.
Yes, indeed. Courage abounding. We thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, and we'll be back with some more TNT and some more Unsung Heroes. Stay with us. Back with more TNT in a moment. We'll be joined by three more unsung heroes, Jim Powers, along with Rusty Brooks and Jose Luis Rivera. Would you welcome them, please? Big men. Rusty Brooks, how much do you weigh?
342 pounds.
342 pounds. That is a big boy. Very big. And Jose, you're up around what?
About 240.
About 240? Jim, you've got to be up there somewhere around
235.
235. Put together. I like those arms over there. Man's been working on his arms.
I try to get in the gym a lot.
I'm sure you do. But Rusty, you've been working on everything.
I used to play football as a lineman at North Texas State.
You played...
We worked upper body
right.
in that state. Been
North
wrestling.
Texas State?
North Texas State in Denton.
Pretty tough league down there.
Well, anywhere in Texas, they grow them big and they play good ball. They wrestle well. Big tough guys down that way.
So you had an amateur experience in terms of wrestling in addition to football.
Yeah, a little wrestling too, mostly football.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I went on to professional wrestling, which I've been doing approximately 4 years now.
And where do you think you are in terms of where you want to be?
Well, I feel like I'm about this much away from getting up to where I want to be. I don't like to be considered in the same class as these two gentlemen here who obviously have a long way to go.
Well, I don't know that. I think that's pretty good class to be in. Jim Powers, of course, really coming into his own, but has not been wrestling very long at all. But certainly Jose Luis Rivera has been wrestling a long time and certainly had his share of victories.
Well, I feel like if you people, these people in this WWF would put me in with anyone of these two gentlemen, my record would improve incredibly.
It would.
Well, I believe so. The first time I come up here, I get stuck in the ring with this 7'4" geek you call a giant. Why don't you put me in with him?
Well, perhaps that's a good point. What about, you seem to be making it relatively well on your own, but earlier on, one of our guests had mentioned that perhaps Lombardi, as a matter of fact, had mentioned that he was looking for someone to handle his career, much like a Bobby the Brain Heenan. Would that assist you, you feel? Or?
Oh, I feel immeasurably. Bobby Heenan's record speaks for itself. I think I could improve his record quite more.
So you feel that you're just waiting for a break, an opportunity, or someone that...
Oh, yes. Oh, definitely. With the proper management, I think I could go all the way to the top.
All right,
no problem.
Rusty Brooks commentary. We're going to have some commentary from Jose Luis Rivera and also from Jim Powers. But right now, let's take you to some videotape footage of all three of these individuals in the squared circle in action. Let's go now to the videotape.
What appeared to be a glancing blow was perhaps more as Powers caught Valentine in the back of the head with a roundhouse kick.
That stunned Valentine. You see the mistake Powers is making. He's saying to Valentine, come on, come on. While Valentine was hurting, Powers should have been on it because Valentine is, look at this now, right on his knee. Mistake of Powers. He should have been after Valentine when Valentine was down there for a few seconds. Instead, he laid back. He's telling Valentine, come on. And Valentine cleared the cobwebs, and he is coming on. And look at the job he's doing on Powers now.
Valentine working on the legs. And certainly, I don't think anyone in professional wrestling can attack the leg area quite like Greg Valentine can. Although the actual figure for a leg lock perhaps has been equaled in devastation by Tito Santana as of late. Ooh, drops the hammer down, does Greg Valentine. Elbow into the lower abdominal area. Valentine now spinning around, trying to go for the figure four leg lock, has it down and cinched in. And Powers wasting no time in submission. And Brooks. Oh, now nice reversal. I think it'll take some time for JYD to figure out the likes of Rusty Brooks, maybe not.
Well, I think he came in, he's a little more serious. Usually he looks at an opponent and he kind of figures what he can do, and he likes to kind of have a little fun in there. But with this guy, seeing Brooks' side, he came in a little more serious, and right off the bat, I think he's, whoa, I thought he was going to get him there. It would have been kind of quick. But he took control, and he's got control, you know, all the way.
The dog wants a little more action here. And I think Rusty Brooks is still smarting from the headbutts, but this will take its toll on the dog, I thought. The dog trying to set up 340-pound Rusty Brooks. Here we go, collision. Oh! The dog covering Rusty Brooks, and Brooks able to escape.
Well, he caught him with that big, forearm right across the head of Brooks. But, you know, Brooks is a big man, and sometimes I think it'll take a little more than that to pin him.
Junkyard dog using tactics that you described earlier on, Bruno, that R.T. Reynolds should have attempted to use against Mulligan. Now Big Rusty, oh!
Did you see that?
He was going for a drop kick.
Exactly, I can't believe it.
And down goes Rusty, cover. We have 3, yes sir. Ooh. And Jim Neidhart thus far has been making mincemeat out of Jose Luis Rivera. Neidhart backing off. Neidhart now trying to set up Rivera. Oh, God. Oh, wow.
What a bill. I mean, he literally picked him up off the floor and just tossed him across that ring like he weighed 2 pounds. This is a very powerful man.
Neidhart, the anvil, they call it. Off the rope. Ooh, my with a forearm.
Let's go. Let's finish that job out there.
Jim Neidhart with Rivera, and Rivera whipped to the ropes and coming off, missing. Coming off, drop kick. Rivera for a comeback. Has Neidhart moving. Whips him now to the buckle and off. Ooh, and into the foot. Rivera wasting just a little bit too much time coming in. Rivera comes up now. Uh-oh, here comes Neidhart. Oh, my.
That Anvil Neidhart is a big, tough monster, is he not, Jose?
It's a tough one, yes. Tough contender. When he threw me down with that suplex that he gave me,
Speak up a little, man.
you take it easy, okay? You do your speed, let me do mine. So it's they come off a little bit, and that's catch you out for a little while, so you have to recuperate again sometime.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, many individuals have a wrestler or an athlete in whatever the field may be that they attempt to pattern their style of wrestling after, or baseball, whatever it may be. Is there any one individual in professional wrestling in the past that you've attempted to pattern your style after?
Well, we got Pedro Morales, one of them.
You find that humorous, Rusty?
Well, you got a has-been and it never was.
A has-been Pedro Morales and it never was?
Well, how many years has it been since you've seen Pedro Morales?
Well,
good Lord.
The man was a world heavyweight champ.
How many years ago?
Yes, but he's still on action right now. You would see him
Well,
back
you can
very
call
soon.
it that. I don't.
Well, that's
We
your
see things
opinion.
different,
Somebody got
partner.
a
I don't
different
know.
opinion on.
I'll tell you, partner, we see things different, that's all.
Jim, how do you see things? We saw you in there with a real tough competitor. They don't get any tougher than Greg Valentine.
Well, he is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champ, and that does speak for itself. The way I look at it is every time I get in the ring with somebody like that or of that caliber, I learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still a learning stage. I'm sure my time will come.
Well, a victory, I would think, what do you think about before a match like that? I mean, to me, that would be a great opportunity in your shoes. I mean, here's Valentine, as you said, as a champion, and it's not a title match, but a victory over him would really, in a non-title match even, would really catapult your career, would it
Oh,
not?
absolutely, absolutely. And nervous. You're definitely nervous before a match like that. But you do the best you can.
Jose, let me ask you, in terms of motivations, other than the fact that you enjoy the physical contact, what other motivations are there? I mean, certainly there's a monetary motivation. You look forward to the payday after winning or even participating in a match. And I think there's a certain amount of glory involved as well, should you be victorious. What's the primary motivation you feel for
It's a
you?
little everything, you know. You got the side of the money, it's a good pay. And the side of the victory, if you get some victory, that's the glory. Everything include everything together.
Mr. Brooks, what's your motivation in terms of
Strictly money. Always money.
strictly money?
Absolutely. What else is there? Money, championships?
You don't get a
Well,
certain...
you gotta have a little bit more of a drive from inside.
Well, you know, your drive don't seem to be doing you too good, partner. You know, I think you ought to just sit on the end down there and be quiet.
That's his opinion there.
Vince, just as a point, could I interpose? We saw a very different attitude displayed by Rusty Brooks as from Jose Rivera, and it is showing right here in the studio. Rusty Brooks is absolutely so confident of himself. I'm afraid that gets him into trouble. And I believe that if Jose Rivera could have some more confidence, he could be an absolute top liner now. He has all the skills. He just lacks that tiny bit of confidence. I think we saw that in their matches. We're definitely seeing it here. And as for Jim Powers, he definitely has a future.
I've seen you wrestle. I don't think you got much room to talk. I remember you.
Well, your career doesn't say much for itself right now.
I'm doing just
That's the
fine.
best.
I'm just a step away.
All right, just
Time
a
will
step,
tell.
just a step away from stardom, perhaps, as far as...
Perhaps nothing.
It is just a step away.
Guaranteed.
All right, well, of course, not a whole heck of a lot is guaranteed in this world, but we wish all three of you the best of luck in the future in your matches in the World Wrestling Federation.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with more Unsung Heroes. Stay with us for more TNT. All right, we've had a number of unsung heroes thus far on TNT, most of whom, with the exception of maybe Rusty Brooks and to a certain extent Jose Luis Rivera, have not had a great deal of experience. Separating them from the next series of guests in terms of unsung heroes who have had a great deal of experience, all three of them. Would you please welcome Charlie Fulton, Pete Doherty, and the unpredictable Johnny Rodz. Sit down, gentlemen, if you would, please. The unpredictable Johnny Rodz. That perhaps more aptly describes anyone, well, I think maybe you more than anyone else, Johnny. I mean, your unpredictable nature, both inside as well as outside of the ring. In terms of what you do in the ring, it appears from time to time that even you don't have a well thought out plan.
Do you know who gave me the name Unpredictable?
Oh, I haven't a clue. Who gave you the name one?
Ah, you don't know. You did.
Really?
You didn't even know that.
But that is you, Mr. Rodz, is it not?
The one and only.
Well, I mean, do you calculate maneuvers ahead of time, or from...
No, I just playing by ear. Whatever comes in that ring, that's what I'm gonna do. And that goes with the opponent they give me. If he's rough, I'm rough. Whatever he's got, I have. Whatever happens, that's it.
Well, now, on the other hand, Pete Doherty, generally speaking, you're much more predictable. I mean, we can look at that kiss.
I am not homicidal, suicidal, or psychotic, McMahon.
I don't recall anyone stating that you were, Mr. Doherty. I just meant you are more predictable in terms of...
I am unpredictable. I'm just as unpredictable as Johnny Rodz and Charlie Fulton right here. I'm the Duke of Dorchester, by the way, too. Whenever you introduce me as the Duke of Dorchester. I work hard for that title, and I want it.
The Duke?
The Duke of Dorchester, baby.
You earned it already.
I came all the way from the dukedom to get to here.
Mr. Doherty, get a hold of yourself.
And you call me
I got a hold of myself. I am not suicidal, homicidal, or schizophrenic. I'm just as sane as he is, and a guy on the end.
Thank you.
All right, what we would like to do is, and we'll come back and have a little chit-chat with Charlie Fulton as well, All three of you gentlemen in individual competition. Pete Doherty, Charlie Fulton, and Johnny Rods. Let's take you now to the videotape footage.
Last week, Wyndham, I think, verbally gave Roddy Piper a little going over. This young man can handle himself not only in the ring, but verbally, I think he can handle himself very nicely.
I think he embarrassed Piper quite a bit. Piper got so angry he walked away.
For the benefit of those who missed it, last week Piper was taunting Barry Wyndham. Wyndham retaliated by saying that, in fact, he would invite Piper down to a Texas barbecue, but if he did, he'd be the only gentleman riding side saddle, something to that effect.
That's exactly what he said. And Piper didn't like it.
Off the rope now, Charlie Fulton. Ooh, my, Wyndham. Really giving him what for. Wyndham now with Charlie Fulton. Yanks him to the rope one more time, sets him up, drop kicks, nicely done. And look out, yes. Cover by Wyndham. And a 3 count. Doherty, bent over, oh, with a chop down to the canvas. The Superfly staying on top of Pete Doherty. Snaps him over with one arm.
He can really electrify wrestling fans all over the world. You're seeing him in action, as Vince was quick to point out, one of the very best ever in the World Wrestling Federation.
Look at the bicep on Snuka. Takes over his man. He really whips his body into it. Head scissor, kick out. Snuka right back up and takes over Doherty.
Oh, he's just
Head
like
scissor
a
again.
machine.
Snuka trying to find a measure of escape. Using a backdoor method, he has escaped right now and quickly to the side headlock. Yank of hair from our vantage point. 2 hand pulls. Referee warns Doherty. Up goes Doherty. Slam to the canvas. Snuka backs off to the rope. Oh, down into the head. Snuka.
Oh, look at here.
Goes up now. Look at this. Oh, another headbutt. Referee has not counted. Finally 2 and gets the 3rd count.
Boy,
Nice reversal by Rods. Another reversal by the Hulkster. Not across the arm. This is a non-title matchup, but if Johnny Rods can defeat Hulk Hogan on this occasion, he'll have certainly a title shot to follow. Look at this. Rods with a series of chops, taking its toll on Hulk Hogan. Right to the face, and the referee warning of a possible disqualification. Rods on the ropes. Now what's he going to do? Hulkster standing up, and takes a tremendous forearm to the back of the neck. Johnny Rods now. Oh, my! With a headbutt covering Hulk Hogan, too. And a big kick out by the Hulkster. Rods hammering away. Hulkster trying to bring himself up. Hulk Hogan hammering another right hand. Johnny Rods whipped to the rope. Look out, here comes the monster. Oh, my. Hulk Hogan dropping the elbow on Rods. To the rope now, and off 302 pounds across the chest. 2 and a victory at 3.
Johnny Rods against Hulk Hogan, you certainly had your moments in that matchup. Very close encounter.
Yes, I did. And I tell you, I was this close from being the champ. It wasn't calling the title match, but you see how slow that referee was there?
Good point. The referee cannot always be in the proper position. But Charlie, we saw you in your matchup with Barry Windham, a seesaw matchup back and forth. We've seen you in individual competition as well as tag team competition. Which do you prefer, tag team or individual?
I prefer individual competition myself. Just as as you seen that match with Barry Windham, it was a give and take match back and forth. But you saw as the camera came on, he had me in a front face lock, and what was supposedly a front face lock, but was more like a chokehold.
It was like a chokehold.
It was exactly like one.
I've been on that, and it's I think it's a chokehold. He uses it. He gets the hole out of you, and you don't let go. It comes in, and by the time you get down there, you're choked up. But that's I don't call it anything else but a chokehold.
Well, then again, though, all three of you have resorted
there's
to...
There's no way you get that kind of hole on, and he's running with you, and there's no way the referee could check it, and he could do anything he wants with that. That's a good one for me.
Very valid point. Very valid point.
If you were really gonna show tribute to the unsung heroes of this business, why did you show that piece of junk there where the man obviously cheated?
In terms of your match with the Superfly?
With Superfly Snooker?
He cheated? And what
You've seen it with your own eyes. What are you, blind, McMahon? I'm going back to the Middle East where people speak to me with respect and address me by their proper title.
Which is...
The Duke of Dorchester.
The Duke of Dorchester.
Yes.
And you're recognized as among the royal families in the Middle East?
I am. I was out on a cruise. I went to the island of Falaka.
The island of what?
Falaka.
What country is that in?
In Kuwait.
The island of Fulaka.
That's correct.
What is the island of Fulaka known for?
It is one of the greatest islands in the world. It has on it the last remains of the Gunga Ding, or whatever. What's the thing?
The Gunga Ding.
The Gunga Ding. It has on it digs that are 5,000 years old. What are you laughing at, Jack?
Just the only the accent.
I'm putting out here some real good history here for you, baby, and you gotta learn it.
Gunga Ding.
Gunga Ding, the last outpost of Gunga Ding. On the island of Falaka.
Island of La Falaka.
You got it, Jack.
Well, unfortunately, I've never been there. But if you say...
Well, a man of your caliber would never ever make it there.
Well, perhaps...
You have to have a little class, address people by the proper.
Perhaps everyone should tour the remains of Gunga Ding.
That's correct.
We'll be back with more TNT. Stay with us. For the benefit of our unsung heroes that have joined us thus far here on TNT, we have a little bit of a surprise and a special little something for them. We will be joined with them in a most unusual cafe. With that in mind, let's take you to the MC, if you would, Mr. Howard Finkel.
Thank you very much, Vince, and welcome everybody to the Cafe Le Bump. And now, let us have a warm TNT welcome for Crusher Comic.
Play Stump the Band, B flat. How you doing, guys? How you doing? It's good to be here at the Cafe La Bump. I'm a little upset, because when I was real young, my father left me, and I've been looking for him ever since. Has anybody seen this guy? I gotta know. I'm looking all over for him. Welcome to the Cafe Bump. We're getting a giveaway tonight for you, Mr. They should call you Mr. Predictable, because you always lose. No, I'm kidding. Hey, come on, I don't need this. We got for you guys.
Johnny, baby.
It's a nice outfit there, Johnny. Someone is a Volkswagen go without seat covers. we got souvenir matches tonight. There you go.
What a bummer.
There you go. I've been all over the place. I've been shopping at the TNT gift shop. I just got a Roddy Piper Rubik's Cube. I got it down to 4.5 minutes now. Why don't you try it, Duke? Wait, I'll mix it for you. Give it a try. Hey, Duke, nice beard. You look like an armpit with eyes. Hey, Johnny, look what I got. Puerto Rican Hot Wheels. You guys see WrestleMania? Mr. T? You guys never got the shot at him. You guys are the unsung heroes. But I got him here tonight. Look at this. A Mr. T Cabbage Patch doll. I pity the fool that adopts me. I pity the fool. What else we got here? What else we got? Oh, look what I got. I got a pair of 3D sunglasses. I don't use them at the movies or anything like that. I use these at home in bed. See, my girlfriend's Jewish, so I just put these on. It creates the illusion of movement. Hey, Johnny, when your IQ hits 60, sell. Hey, it's good. No, you guys, let me just tell you guys, it's all attitude. It's all attitude. I mean, you got all the headliners here. You got your Orndorffs and stuff. Let me tell you something about Orndorff. He's not what you think. You think he does well with the women and stuff. It's not true. Last night he was involved in a menage a trois. Well, actually, it was more like Paul and two mirrors. And you got, hey, come on, I don't need this. Come on, come on. Hey, how about Hillbilly Jim? Hillbilly Jim, he's not as smart as you think. Pretty naive sexually. When he was young, his father was explaining to him the birds and the bees. He told him, Jim, the men go on top and the women on the bottom. So Jim bought bunk beds. Think about it, think about it. Anyway, you guys have been great. I got another job. I work part-time as drama coach for Lord Alfred Hayes. So I got to be off on that job. Hey, we'll see you again. You guys are great. Take care. Come on, we'll see you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome once again Crusher Comic.
Hey, please take care of the staff here. Our waitress here at the Cafe La Bump really works her butt off. In fact, if you look at her, she's been working here so long she has no butt whatsoever. How you doing? Hey, remember, guys, remember, it's all attitude. You gotta get in shape. You gotta work hard. Rusty, not many people notice. You gotta get in shape, Rusty. That's the problem. You're out of shape. Did you know he started out as an actor? When he was young, he did a horror film called I Was a Teenage Warehouse. Rusty's the only guy I know. The only guy I know with a zip code, E-I-E-I-O. Hey, just kidding, Rusty, just kidding. How you doing? What I want to do now is I want to put the show on the other foot. I want to give you guys a chance here. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get a volunteer from the audience here to come up here and do a little wrestling bit with me. Who we got? Mario? Sure, why not? Come on up. Give him a hand. Mario Mancini. Hey, Mario. Shut up. Hey, Mario. These are
you might have tools.
Yeah. Boy, living proof that cousins marry, huh? Right here. These lapels are a little wide. What did you need? Runway clearance to get here? All right. How we doing? All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little demonstration here, wrestling. I'm gonna give you a chance. I saw the clips before, your matches and stuff. And what have you ever been involved in a chain match?
No.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a chain match like you've seen many wrestlers do. What happens here, Mario, is I fasten myself.
Mario, hang him!
Yeah. Tighten it up, Mario.
And what you do is you go to this. Unfortunately for you, Mario, you don't benefit from a collar like I do. But that's life in the big
Mario,
city.
watch him!
Hey,
all right. Please, Mario. All right, Mario, hang on.
All right, Mario, we'll do this, no problem here. There we go.
Mario,
all right.
Get your first win.
Not a chance, Mario. All right, now what I need you to do is sort of initiate the action here, and then we'll get into the fight.
You want me to make the first move?
I want you to make the first move, all right, Danny Terrio?
Mario, knock him out.
Oh, that makes me mad, Mario. There's only one way to settle this. There's only way to settle this. Rock 'em, sock 'em, robots to the finish. All right, Mario, this is the way we're gonna do it. This is the way I like to do things. Mario, go. Come on, Mario, come on. Come on, Mario. Come on. Mario, you didn't have a chance. I glued my guy's block down with crazy glue. Hey, Mario, thanks a lot. Give him a hand. You've been fun, Mario.
TNT. And Crusher Comet lucky to get away with his life, I think, with that rowdy bunch. We certainly invite you to join us next week for more TNT. The festivities are still going on in Cafe La Bump.